Right, at the weekend, it was brought to my attention that there is a programme on Channel 4 called Finding the Cornish Dream. Now, for me, the Cornish Dream is a free bar, as much beer as you can drink, down the beach, eat some cakey tea, and then have a quick portion in the sand dunes with the missus. However, I don't think that's what Channel 4 had in mind. So, in the keeping with these people that like to watch telly whilst other people are watching telly, like Gogglebox and everything else, join me as we watch Finding the Cornish Dream proper version together.
With its magnificent coastlines,
Huge housing crisis,
dramatic wilderness,
low wages and high cost of living,
world-famous beaches,
full hospitals,
charming villages and market towns.
3-day wait for ambulances.
Cornwall is one of the most sought-after locations to live in the UK.
And it's the home of cakey tea. She forgot that bit.
Demand is at an all-time high, with buyers from across the country all searching for their perfect property in this wondrous land.
This is right for me and I will fight for this house.
By fight for this house, she means I've got more money than you, so I'll just keep chucking money at it until you locals can't afford it anymore.
So if you're dreaming of a life near the coast, in a traditional stone cottage...
Traditional stone cottage? It's a palace with a bloody swimming pool.
A palatial villa...
That's not a villa, it's a glass mansion on a cliff.
Overlooking the Celtic Sea...
The Celtic what? The Celtic Sea? Who the hell calls it the Celtic Sea? It's not the bloody Celtic Sea, it's the Atlantic Ocean.
Or just want to start a whole new life in the country...
Well, them swingers.
Launceston is located right on the border of Devon and equidistant from the north and south coast.
No, it's not. It's 18 mile from the north coast and 24 mile from the south coast. It's not equidistant to anything, and it's in the middle of nowhere.
It's also home to Hilary Rhodes, an estate agent at Webber's.
Mrs. Young, good morning. It's Hilary from Webber's. How are you?
At last, some good news. Marjorie Dawes has found work after Little Britain got pulled off the BBC. Now, I'm going to have a little bit of a sweepstake here as to what places they're going to go. This looks like a proper pretentious programme. So, on my list, Rock, Padstow, St Mawes, St Ives, Foy. Those have got to be the top 5. Those are going to be the places that this programme goes to for sure. Right, here we go. Let's get on with the programme.
Perranporth is on the north coast.
Perranporth? You fucking serious?
Back in the 19th century, Perranporth was a typical Cornish tin mining village.
Full of pissheads and prostitutes.
24-year-old local boy Lewis is back for a second viewing.
Oh, 24-year-old local boy. Oh, this could be good then.
Hi Tom, you alright? Hi Lewis. How you doing?
With a budget of £600,000, he has his heart set on a renovation project with sea views.
600 grand? He's 24 and he's Cornish and he's got 600 grand? He must have had a hell of a paper round. I'll tell you what, Lewis, how many shifts did you have to work in Spoons in Perranporth to get that money? 600 grand? This is not relative to the 24-year-olds that are living in Cornwall, I can assure you. Anyway, give him the benefit of the doubt. Mother and father will give him a wedge. Let's see what he does with it.
After having another look around here, I'm sort of really interested in the property. What do you think that I need to do to sort of persuade the seller?
Sell a kidney?
This fixer-upper is on the market for a guide price of £500,000.
Fixer-upper? £500,000 or 20 times the average Cornish wage. That's accessible to most people, isn't it?
I think that with my offer, if the seller knows that I'm a local person, that will sort of have any sway in them potentially choosing my offer rather than going with somebody else's.
It won't make a shit of difference, Lewis, but you can think otherwise as long as you want. All they want is the money.
This is a house that's been in the same family for about 30 years, and I'd like to think that it would have some sway that it was going to a local, but ultimately, of course, a lot of it comes down to what the final offer is going to be.
I do. Well, you have to let them know that I'm a local boy then.
Absolutely.
He will. It won't matter. It'll go to the highest bidder. Let's wait and see what happens.
It does need extensive renovation. I need a budget of at least sort of 200,000, maybe 250,000.
Hang on. You've bid 550,000 for it, and you've got a budget of 250,000 to put it right. That's 800 grand. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 eighths is 32. 32 times the average wage of Cornwall. But of course, yeah, this is normal, isn't it? Lewis, he's local boy, probably works at Max Salver's part-time. Right, so you got 800 grand, Lewis. Well done, mate. You are absolutely relative of everyone in Cornwall.
Cornwall, the land of rolling countryside
And cakey tea.
horizons full of majestic wind turbines.
Majestic? Wind turbines? I tell you what, love, you're stretching it now. Majestic is not a word I'd use for those eyesores, but nevertheless, majestic it is. They're majestic windmills. Of course they are. Shitholes.
Beaches, cliff tops, winding country lanes,
And cakey tea.
and very powerful opinions on the order of scone toppings.
Ah, here we go. Now we're talking. We've got onto the subject of scone toppings. Everything's going to be all right. I'll tell you what, I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to have a bite of a scone myself.
Definitely jam first on the scone.
Scone! What the bloody hell's going on? It's scone. Like tone, bone or cone. First chance they get to do something right and they cock it up. This is... Oh, I tell you, I'm going to have another bite now. I'm going to try and swallow this one. Right, what are you going to do next to annoy me?
Today, Paul is going to value a property in Coombe, a rural hamlet 15 miles west of Truro and only a short walk from the golden sands of Godrevy Beach.
Godrevy? Godrevy? Where the hell is Godrevy? If you want to come down here and ruin our county with these bloody programmes, at least get the pronunciation right. It's Godrevy. Oh, I can't take no more of this. Right, your cakey tea ain't working. I'm going to have a beer. Oh, any minute now, I'm going to need me Zantac.
Back by the sea, Lewis is keen to get on the Perranporth property ladder
I bet he is. He got 800 grand to spare.
and upped his original offer on the bungalow with coastal views from £475,000 to £527,500.
Or 26 times the average Cornish wage.
But was it enough to seal the deal?
No, of course it wasn't.
Unfortunately, I didn't end up buying it.
There's a shock. Anyway, I'm sure we're going to move on to far more affordable housing now, which reflects the true Cornish housing market. It can only be a matter of time before we go to a little two-bed terrace in Troon, just outside Camborne. Just a matter of time. Here we go.
Located just a couple of miles from Newquay is Nansledden.
Right, for a start, 'tis Nansledden. Nan hasn't lent anything anybody. Actually, I suppose Prince William's Nan has lent Charles 500 odd acres of land to build housing on to make it look like it's cheap, affordable housing, when in fact they're charging top dollar. But I'll tell you what, give them the benefit of the doubt. Let's see what happens, shall us?
A town in the making. It's full of colourful houses and lushly planted streets, and is home to an increasing population of 20,000 people.
20,000? There's 2,000 houses there. So either we've got a huge refugee problem and there's 10 people living in each house, or she's talking shit. I'm going to go for the latter, though the former probably is something to do with it. But nevertheless, 10 people in each house? Don't think so, love. Get your facts right.
We've designed the community around the local needs of the population.
Oh, they've designed the community around the local needs of the population. Oh, that must mean that there's 100% affordable homes and they're all within the price range of the average Newquay wage, which is £25,000 a year. So 4 times that, 100 grand, allow for a couple. So I would imagine the dearest house would be about 200,000, wouldn't it? Yeah, that'd be about right.
House prices in Nansledden range from a 2-bed mid-terrace or coach house at £300,000
Well, that's that fucked.
or a 5-bed detached at £600,000.
Or 24 times the average wage in Newquay. So, of course, you know, I would imagine Santander and HSBC are lining up to give 24 times mortgages away.
We don't deny the existence of cars, but essentially when you're here, you don't need one.
Essentially, when you're here, you don't need a car. You're 2 miles outside of Newquay city centre. You're a mile from Quintrell Downs railway station, where the train don't stop Wednesdays, or indeed Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays or Sundays, about twice a day. That's about it. You've got a bus that runs once a week. But no, you don't need a car, because you don't need to go anywhere, because you've got everything you need in Nansledden. Jesus Christ. Hang on, I'm going to have more beer. This is no good.
3/4 of UK buyers nationally would like their prospective homes to be more sustainable.
3/4 of buyers in Cornwall would just like a home to be affordable. They couldn't give a shit whether it's sustainable or not. They want a roof over their head. If it's got solar panels on, that's a bonus. But quite frankly, that's a luxury bonus right now. Tossers! Right, I'll just have a sip of my beer. I'll calm down because I haven't even got my watch on, so you can't even see what my heart rate is. But I'm sure it's sky high. Anyway, I'm sure we're going to go to somewhere now with some decent affordable housing and some decent local people to buy it. I'm sure it's going to be fine. Here we go.
On the north coast of mid-Cornwall lies Newquay, a vibrant surf town. It's full of cafes, bars and restaurants.
And stag do, manx and chavs.
What does your money get you in Newquay?
A pint, a surf lesson, and knickers for a knicker from one of their vending machines. I wore them on one of my stag do's.
The location of this property was what sold it to us. The original structure, it was a 4-bedroomed house. It was nice, but it was like a lot of old properties. It was built in the 70s, 80s. It needed updating.
Oh, a property that was built in the 80s that needed updating because it's so out of date. And, you know, it was a 4-bedroom place and these seemed like really local people.
After missing out on the bungalow in Perranporth, he widened his search and moved inland.
Oh, Lewis has moved inland. This can only mean one thing. He's gone 4 lanes, see what he can buy there. And if he can't get anything there, he's going to have a look out Foxhole and see if he can pick himself up a little 2-bed cottage somewhere in Clay Country. That's got to be what it is. Can't be anything else.
Ruin High Lanes is a village 12 miles outside of Truro, near the port of St Mawes.
Where do you want me to start with that? For a start, it's Ruin High Lanes, not Ruin High Lanes. St Mawes ain't a port, ain't been for years. And as for being affordable, it's on the road to St Mawes. It's in proper expensive land. And I bet we never get to find out how much this house costs. Come on, how much does this house cost?
Here, he found this 1960s bungalow, deep in the countryside. And his offer has been accepted.
How much was it?
We came and viewed this on a Monday, and I think it was the following Thursday, we had the offer accepted.
Had a viewing on the Monday, had the offer accepted on the Thursday. I wonder what happened on the Friday. We certainly didn't find out how much he bid for it, did we?
He's a lot of work doing to it. It's got a really nice sort of mature but overgrown gardens.
Overgrown gardens? Can't see them on the video. I presume they must be here somewhere. Lewis, mate, if that's what you call overgrown, that looks like freshly cut grass to me. So why are you peering in the window? You've clearly been round there with a lawnmower already. Honestly, it's like this programme's just made to wind me up. I can't cope. I'm going to have another beer.
Back towards the Celtic Sea.
It's not the Celtic Sea! It's the bloody Canal Estuary which leads onto the Atlantic. At no point is it the Celtic Sea. Who the hell calls it the Celtic Sea? Jesus! Oh, I'm going to need me Zantac. I'm having some thunder and lightning. I can't cope with that. Oh, Jesus. Bloody programme's going to give me a heart attack. If a clot of cream done first.
Anne and Bruce have been eagerly trying to get their beachside villa ready in time for summer.
It's not beachside. It's next to the Gallon Estuary. That's not a beach. The beach is on the other side of the river at Crantock. Why are you talking such shit? Oh, I'm going to have to roll a fag in a minute. I can't cope with this.
The couple are delighted that they can spend another summer in Cornwall with their ever-growing family.
Right. I smell bullshit. I don't reckon they got any intention of spending a summer in Cornwall with their ever-growing family. I reckon they're going to Airbnb it. However, come on, prove me wrong.
It's wonderful to be here at last, being able to share this with our family. Definitely well worth the wait.
I smell even more bullshit. They're buttering us up for something. In fact, this isn't even bullshit. We're moving into pig shit territory.
Definitely worth all the effort, because we've created a sort of dream house for us.
No, love, you've created a dream house for everyone else who's got money. Don't pretend it's for you. It's now gone from bullshit to pig shit to absolute shit.
It's gone over the 1.3 million now, and we've got bills still coming in.
Oh, my heart bleeds for you. It really does.
But just to remember, we paid 1.4 for the site before we started.
He's like the Harry Enfield character. Excuse me, but I can't help noticing I'm considerably richer than you. All right, mate, don't rub it in. You've already spent what most people won't earn in Cornwall in a lifetime, but don't worry about that. You keep cracking on.
So
I think realistically it'll be about 1.5 by the time we've finished
the build,
and that includes furnishings, blinds, all that, to be a house that you can live in. Yeah.
Furnishings, blinds. She's just allowed 100 grand for furnishing and blinds. I got 2 words for you, love. IKEA. Jesus, it's like it's a different world. And it's just designed to wind up people in Cornwall. 20,000 of them that are on the housing list. But don't worry about that. Let's just have some pretentious twats with more money than sense telling us how they spend 100 grand on soft furnishings. Woohoo! Hang on, I gotta have another beer. I don't know if we can get to the end of this. I'll press play. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
and a unicorn on the back.
Yes.
And a prick in the kitchen.
That's a total spend of just under £3 million.
That's 400 times the average wage of the person in Newquay. That's 400 times the wages of the average person in Newquay. I'll say it again, 400. Now go down Nat West and see if you can get a times 400 loan.
And I think it's the best position in Cornwall.
Well, that's a bit big-headed.
It was a sales pitch. We're not going to sell it now.
To be fair, he's not lying there. He's not going to sell it, but he is Airbnb in it, and it's yours for the princely sum in summer of 2,300 quid a night, plus £890 cleaning fee, plus 1,200 quid service fee. So in fact, it's about 16 grand for a week to stay in this place. But it's a family home and they just wanted it for their family and they weren't interested in making any money out of it at all. And it's exactly the tossers like this that are causing 20,000 people to be homeless whilst they push house prices up and do nothing with it other than cream off the top and invite more of their posh friends down to stay in it. And we're meant to watch this and be happy about it and say, oh yes, they're living the Cornish dream. It's not a Cornish dream, it's a fucking nightmare. Cheers, everybody.